1:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Geethanjali Ramanayaka. The headlines. 200 renovated buses added to transport operations by the President. The government assures the construction work of central highways is being conducted properly. A gazette on maintaining public order and declaring supply of electricity as an essential service issued again. Judicial sector will be automated. Plans have been made on electricity generation. Foreign news, Russia recognizes Ukraine's separatist regions as independent states. News in detail now. The reconstruction of 200 buses to be added to the transportation operations was conducted at the Presidential Secretariat under the patronage of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa today. This program is being implemented as a measure to save foreign exchange. Under the first phase, 273 buses operated last year. 136 million rupees was spent for the reconstruction of buses that were added for transportation operations today. Minister Johnston Fernando said in Parliament today that the construction work from Kadawatha to Mirigama part of the Central Highway is being conducted properly. He answered to a question raised by the parliamentarian Gayantha Karunatilaka. Meanwhile, Minister Sarath Weerasekara, answering to a question raised by the opposition leader Sajith Premdasu, said that the investigation into the incident of journalist Chamudita Samaravikrama will be conducted continuously. A full security has been deployed at the house of Chamudita Samaravikrama. He also said that the present government has confirmed media freedom. An extraordinary Gazette notification has been issued calling upon the armed forces to maintain public order across the country with effect from today. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has issued the Gazette by virtue of the powers vested in him by the Section 12 of the Public Security Ordinance. Meanwhile, on the order of the President, Secretary to the President Gamini Senrath yesterday issued an extraordinary Gazette declaring the supply of electricity as an essential service. All services, work or labour of any description whatsoever necessary or required to be done in connection with the maintenance, reception, care, feeding and treatment of patients in hospitals, nursing homes, dispensaries and other similar institutions have also been declared as essential services. The Cabinet of Ministers has granted approval to design, implement and maintain a court automation system for the judicial system in the country. The project will be initiated in collaboration with the Information and Communication Technology Agency. Accordingly, the proposal presented by the Minister of Justice to award the procurement contract to 3 private establishments as per the recommendation of the Cabinet-appointed Procurement Committee has been approved. Minister Dr. Ramesh Patrana says that the government has paid attention to the implementation of an electricity generation project to generate electricity when the fuel prices increase in the world market. The increase of electricity required in the country is 10%. He also pointed out that it is a problem of not constructing power plants at a proper time to fulfill the country's need. He also reiterated that it is a timely need for promoting renewable energy sources in the country. Triggering further uncertainty on a possible fuel shortage in the country, the central bank said it could not release foreign exchange to the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation CPC without getting the rupee component for it. The central bank governor Ajit Niwad Kabra said the banks would not release US dollars without rupees in keeping with the exchange value. He said that it is a single borrower limit and it applies to the CPC. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The national campaign program of No Gutti to end violence against children in Sri Lanka was launched yesterday at the Gota Institute in Colombo. It was launched by Stop Child Cruelty Trust with the Child Protection Alliance. Speaking at the occasion, Dr. Tush Wickramanayake, founder chairperson, Stop Child Cruelty Trust and co-convener Child Protection Alliance, said that Sri Lanka is the only South Asian country that is committed to Sustainable Development Goal to end violence against children, yet considered one of the least safe for children in the world. He said they are working committedly to address this by No Guti campaign. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has urgently convened a cabinet meeting today to discuss the financial crisis the country is facing as well as the fuel and power issues. At the cabinet meeting held last evening, the president decided to reconvene the cabinet this evening to discuss these burning issues which had spread much anger amongst the public, who have desperately urged the government for some relief. The Justice Minister Ali Sabri says that when hearing cases filed on the basis of revenge at independent courts will be released, some persons socialize statements in this regard without having a proper understanding of it. He made these remarks participating at the Dasadesin program of the SLBC today. He also emphasized that the present government is safeguarding the independence of the judicial sector. And that ends local news for now.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The health authorities point out that there is a keen enthusiasm among the public than before on obtaining the booster vaccines, and Specialist Dr. Anwar Hamdani stated that the number of people who have received the booster vaccine have increased by 16% during the past 9 days. Accordingly, 40% of the individuals who had obtained 2 doses of vaccines administered the booster vaccines. The expected target would be met if it increased to 70% during the next 2-week period. The health restrictions will be further released according to the response from the public on the third vaccine. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
This is Watchlight.
The experts in the power and energy sector points out that there are various measures to be taken on the need of using electricity sparingly amidst the electricity crisis in the country. There is a possibility to minimize the use of electricity in some buildings and business places, digital signboards and other activities between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. The authorities of such places should pay their attention on their contribution to minimize the use of electricity. And that was Watchlight.
Coming up, World News.
In the headlines, Russia recognizes Ukraine's separatist regions as independent states. Canada Parliament backs Trudeau on emergency powers. The UK, France condemn Russia's move to recognize Ukraine regions. World news in detail now. Russian President Vladimir Putin has recognized breakaway rebel regions in Ukraine's east as independent states, effectively ending peace talks there. The self-declared People's Republic of Donetsk and Luhansk are home to Russia-backed rebels who have been fighting Ukrainian forces since 2014. Russian troops have been ordered to perform so-called peacekeeping functions in both regions. Ukraine's president accused Russia of willfully violating its sovereignty. Canada's parliament has backed the government's decision to impose emergency powers to deal with weeks-long protest blockades against COVID restrictions. The motion passed with 185 votes to 151 yesterday with the support of the Liberals and left-leaning NDP. Over the weekend, police cleared the final protest site in Ottawa on streets around Parliament Hill. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau invoked the Emergencies Act early last week. Earlier today, the Liberal Prime Minister defended the continued use of temporary emergency measures, saying that the situation across the country is still fragile and they are needed to prevent new blockades. Britain and France have reacted sharply to Russia's decision to unilaterally recognize 2 breakaway regions in eastern Ukraine as independent. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson criticized Russian President Vladimir Putin at a news conference yesterday. Johnson said that the move was plainly in breach of international law and flagrant violation of the sovereignty and integrity of Ukraine. The British Prime Minister later talked with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky by phone. Johnston reportedly told him that he believed Russia's invasion was a real possibility in the coming hours and days. Back to the headlines of the world news. Russia recognizes Ukraine's separatist regions as independent states. Canada Parliament backs Trudeau on emergency powers. UK, France condemn Russia's move to recognize Ukraine regions. And that ends world news.
Development News is brought to you by Let's take coal out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
Colombo District Parliamentarian Madhura Vithanage said that it is intended to commence a passenger transport service by ferry from Battramula Diyathawiyana to Port City via Vallavatta, and the necessary preliminary work is already underway. It will take approximately 20 minutes to reach to the destination. Colombo District Parliamentarian Madhura Vithanage said that 100 rupees will be charged from the students and 200 rupees will be charged from others for obtaining the service. And that was Development News.
Development News was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928. Sports News is brought to you by
Sampath Bank. We present your future.
The Sri Lanka cricket team will meet India at the first T20 match in Lucknow on Thursday. 18 players of the Australian tour are included in the cricket reserve. At present, Sri Lanka is in the 9th place according to T20 rankings, and India has secured the 2nd place. And that was Sports News.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Huawei a global innovative smartphone manufacturer, unveiled Huawei Nova 8i Long with many other innovative products at an exclusive launch held recently. These products will offer more value for a convenient price. The event was held at the Colombo Hilton under the patronage of the representatives of the Huawei management team and the media outlets. Country manager of the smartphone Huawei, Chris Kai, said that they hope to launch the smartphone to the Sri Lankan market. And that was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Economic News, courtesy of
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
The Ministry of Tourism says that 4,367 tourist guides have been registered at the Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority. A program to provide a special allowance for them is being implemented at an instance on the collapse of the sector. The ministry also said that a special program has been initiated by the Hotel Management Training Institute to train them as well. And that was Economic News.
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
The weather report.
The Met Department says that there's a high possibility for showers over the eastern and Nuwa provinces. Showers will occur at times in the eastern and Nuwa provinces and in the Polonnaruwa and Matule districts. Several special showers will occur in the Bulathiyuwa and Hambantota districts. And that was the weather report. And to end this news broadcast, back to the headlines. 200 renovated buses added to transport operations by the President. The government assures the construction work of central highways being conducted properly. A gazette on maintaining public order and declaring supply of electricity as an essential service issued again. Judicial sector will be automated. Plans have been made on electricity generation. Foreign news: Russia recognizes Ukraine's separatist regions as independent states. And with that, we end this news broadcast and back to Amanda to keep you company this Tuesday. Over to you, Amanda.